this means for their plants.
Yeah, they're wondering whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll find out for sure here. We're live from the Good for Utah backyard with Lorene Botner from Mill Creek Gardens. Thanks for being here, Lorene.
Thank you. It's beautiful out here. Wow.
It is beautiful, and I mean, this is thanks to Mill Creek Gardens, this beautiful area that we now have at the studio. You see Dan out here a lot during the newscast.
Right.
But right now we have so much warm weather. Are you getting a lot of calls, a lot of people asking you a bunch of questions?
Calls at Mill Creek Gardens out on my cell phone. Hey, what we have here, I brought a sample. This is a lilac bush, and you can see the green coming out here on this bud. They're starting to emerge. The buds are swelling. It's because of the heat, the warm weather coming. But you know, it's going to cool off again. I'm sure it's going to get cold, but it probably won't get super cold. If it does, the plants they'll just slow down. You'll see a lot of perennials emerging out of the ground, the green starting to grow up on those. It's okay because they're doing what we call crown out, and they're multiplying right now, and they're okay. Here's a plant right here. This is actually a heather. It blooms in the wintertime. It's going to be able to handle the cold weather also. So it really is nature doing its thing. I'm sure your bulbs are emerging out of the ground. I saw some crocus blooming on Wednesday out in Sandy area. So it's just the springtime, and it's just a little bit early. It'll just slow down as the weather cools off again, but the plants are doing great. I will say, please water under your eaves. Please water where the natural moisture isn't coming down.
Now, is there any concern when it does get cold again? Let's say we go down to below freezing temperatures, late February, March, whatnot. What happens then?
Well, there's a lot of frost still is going to happen because the average last frost date is in the end of April into May. It's okay for it to freeze. If it gets down to 0, that's when I'd worry. If it gets like 15, 10 degrees, you can also get frost blanket. It's like a white sheet that goes over the plants, and it's breathable and it's water permeable. That's something you can put over your plants and especially over your perennials. You'll see it at Temple Square, the Capitol building. You probably see it at Thanksgiving Point. They'll do it in those areas. Helps plants emerge out about 3 weeks earlier.
So that is a good idea, if going out and trying to cover the trees or your garden in your own home.
Really, I wouldn't worry about the trees, but the herbaceous plants would be like pansies, perennials, covering them up. But it's really, that's to help them come earlier and to help retain moisture and also allow moisture in there.
All right, so if people want to be able to find out all the things they need to do to make sure they have the right plants and taking care of them the right way, I mean, where do they got to go?
Well, Mill Creek Gardens, our 60th anniversary this year. We're at 3500 South on 9th East.
Great. And can people come and ask you 1,000,001 questions? Because I don't have a green thumb, so I would have a ton of questions.
Let me see.
It looks pretty green to me.
At Mill Creek Gardens, we have hundreds of years of gardening experience. We've been doing training. Even this morning, we were laughing about how many years, if you add it all up, of how many years we've gardened, the 16 people that were at our training. And there are hundreds of years of experience and 60 years of tradition in the community. We're just grateful we're here and be able to share all this knowledge and fun in the garden.
All right, sounds good, Lorene. And of course, we'll have more information on how they can get a hold of you, the plants and all of that coming up on our website at goodforutah.com.
And check our website out too at millcreekgardens.com.
Absolutely. And I think you're telling us not to panic. Don't panic just
right.
yet.
I'm optimistic about it. It's awesome to see green coming out of there. I picked this one on purpose.
Look at that little guy
it looks
there.
good.
If you take and slice these up, you're actually going to see the bloom in there, little teeny tiny, and as it emerges, those cells just continue to split, and it actually comes up, and this is going to be a blooming, fragrant lilac here in about 2 months.
It's a little piece of life.
Absolutely.
Thanks.